My name is Tawshiana Began, and I work in the financial aid office at Somerset Community College. I'm actually at the Somerset campus, but I do travel to our other campuses if need be. I don't care if it's me, anyone, or. But like I was saying, I work at the Somerset office or Somerset campus in the financial aid office in room 119 or office 119 in the Student Commons building. So any of you all can always come and see me or call me or email me or whatever, and I'd be happy to assist you or any students with, anything that I can. I do have a presentation today, just a little PowerPoint presentation that I was going to present for you all. If anyone has any questions while I'm giving this, you are more than welcome to stop me, to put a chat in the chat box, and then somebody just let me know. I do not care a bit to answer any questions while I'm presenting or going through it. I don't care a bit. Or afterwards, if you all have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, email me, call me, come see me, whatever. And then I see somebody's typing something in the chat box, so I'm going to hold off for just a second before I start presenting to make sure. Okay, cool. So they're going to watch the chat so I can do the presentation. That is awesome. I like teamwork. All right. So let me see if I can present and then get this going. Give me just a second here. Oh, sorry, I was on it and then it went away. Okay. Can you all see my slideshow?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. Okay. You guys still see it? We're good? Okay. So I'm going to talk just a little bit today about financial aid and scholarships. I am the scholarship coordinator at the college, but I do also work in the financial aid office. So I can also assist with any financial aid questions as much as I can, and don't care a bit at all too. On this first slide, I just wanted to put my contact information for you all. I've got my email, my phone, the fax, and then where my office is located. So if anyone has any questions, like I said, just, feel free to reach out to me. I don't care a bit to help you. Even if it's something that I can't assist you with or don't know, if it's a financial aid question, I will get you to the right person. And for this, I'm just going to kind of briefly go over kind of what financial aid is and discuss a few other things about financial aid other than scholarships, just to kind of give a little bit of extra information. So for this first slide, I will just talk about FAFSA. FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. This is the federal Pell Grant, Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, or FSEOG, Federal Work Study, Federal Direct Student Loans, and you can also fill out the FAFSA for the next school year as early as October 1st. On filling it out filling it out early, we encourage all students to try and fill out that FAFSA as early as they can. If you can do that as soon as October 1st for the next fall, it's a really good idea to go ahead and complete it, because then if you do need to turn in any documents or there's any additional information that we need, we can have that all completed and done before your classes actually start in the fall. Instead of if we wait till the last minute, it can be kind of rushing and kind of trying to figure everything out, and it can be a little bit harder on the student. So we do prefer that, if you can fill that out as early as possible, it's just, it works better all the way around for everyone. So FAFSA is also used for other types of financial aid. It is used for state financial aid, which is KEES. It is used for the College Access Grant or the CAP grant, which is also through KEES. It is used for the Work Ready Kentucky Scholarship, and I'll kind of go into a little bit more detail on the Work Ready Scholarship later. And then it's also used for many other institutional scholarships that are based on financial need. So even if you are not sure or don't think that you are going to get any aid from the FAFSA, it's a good idea to always go ahead and fill it out, because it might give you other opportunities to get aid or to get other scholarships, even if you don't meet those income qualifications to receive federal aid. So SCC has institutional scholarships that we offer. The deadlines of the scholarship applications are March 1st and July 1st for fall. So we do have one that's coming up pretty soon. And then it's December 1st for spring. So on our March 1st deadline, after students apply for scholarships and that deadline of March 1st, we then take all those applications and we are looking through them to award for the following fall semester. So we're going to take all our applications on March 1st, look through them, and then award for fall 2022. The July 1st deadline is our residual deadline. So on it, we are just pulling all our leftover scholarships if we weren't able to award something on March 1st, or if someone declined a scholarship and we have an opening, then we just look back through all our applicants on July 1st and kind of do the same thing. So I always encourage students to try to apply before that March 1st deadline, because that is going to put them in the running for the most scholarships, since the July 1st is just residual. And then on the December 1st deadline, we just have that one deadline, and that is going to put students in the running for all of our scholarships for the following spring. And then this is just something I like to share with students and other employees as well. In the 2020-2021 academic year, we had over 1,000 students on scholarships, and we awarded over $1 million in scholarships. So scholarships make a really big difference, especially to people who, are not able to receive other types of aid like federal funding. It makes a huge difference to a lot of people, and we help a lot of students with scholarships. Something else that I want to mention about our internal scholarships is you have to maintain at least a 2.5 college GPA. You have to apply before the deadline and then provide any supporting documents that are listed on the application. The supporting documents are your high school transcripts and ACT scores. If this student is already a current student, let's say they've been here 2 semesters and then they are filling out a scholarship application, most likely we are already going to have the high school transcripts and ACT scores on file. So that wouldn't necessarily mean that they would have to give that to me again. I'll be able to access that in the records office. So they don't have to provide that information again. But that is something that we do ask for, is access to the high school transcripts and then ACT scores if we don't already have them. So our scholarship application can be found on the main SCC webpage. On the search engine, just type in scholarship application, and then you just fill out the application and submit it. You don't get it just tells you, I think, thank you for submitting. You won't get an email after you fill it out or anything. But once it's submitted, then it comes to me and I'm able to access it and look at it. So if anyone's ever unsure about whether an application has processed or went through, or, if it gave some sort of error, then if you just reach out to me, I can check and see if we've gotten it. I have a lot of people that will do that, and that's never a problem. So when you fill out our scholarship application, it puts you in the running for all of our internal scholarships. These scholarships have various requirements or restrictions. Some of them may include may have a GPA restriction. It may be that they want a non-traditional student. It may be based on a composite ACT score. It may be based on financial need or minority status, and then there's more. And one thing I always like to say about this is we are getting new scholarships every year. And I've only been in this office for a year. And when I started, we were getting some new ones in, and then we got some new ones this time around as well. So this is something that is always growing and changing, and we are always increasing. We recently got a new scholarship, and the qualification for it is that you are a Citizens Bank customer. So and that's the only qualification that they have. So it's just always kind of growing and changing. You never know what's out there, what we might have from one year to the next, which is always a good thing. I'm going to get a drink real quick, guys. I'm sorry. And then also on the scholarship application, I do try to encourage any students that fill it out to be as detailed as possible. There's a question that asks about your goals. And then there's also a question that asks about any kind of extracurricular activities. I just always try to tell people to pack as much detail as you can into those questions. Because that could be what keeps you standing out from other applicants. So if we're looking at two people and they have comparable GPAs, and we're kind of, the committee might be unsure of which one to award, they might look at goals and see that, one person says, my goal is to get a job. And then the other person says, my goal is to become an educator because I've always dreamed about being a teacher. I'm very passionate about this. It can make you stand out if you really think about what you are going to put there. So I always try to tell anyone that I'm helping fill out an application to kind of keep that in mind, to put, what makes your goals unique, or what's going to make you sound passionate about what you want to do, and why the scholarship, why scholarships would help you to further that. I'll just talk briefly about scholarships that you can earn. So we have several scholarships here that you have to work to receive. We have the Student Ambassador Scholarship. Part of the qualification or the restrictions on this scholarship is that what you have to do is you work 40 hours per semester, and then you can earn up to 6 credit hours of tuition. And the 6 credit hours of tuition is each semester that you are a student ambassador. And then I have put Melissa Winstead's information on here. She is the Student Ambassador Coordinator, and she would be happy to assist anybody with any questions or anything with that specific program. I've also listed the SGA Scholarship. This is the Student Government Association. This is another good way for students to kind of get into, to earn a scholarship, but then to also kind of get into the kind of college life and kind of be involved in events and things that are going on at the college. And so I've also listed Jeff Brickley's email on here. And then we also have the Honors Program Scholarship. And I have listed Amanda Waterstrat's information on here as well. For these scholarships, more information can be found out about these on our SCC website. So, and I would just, reach out to the people over them if you have any questions or anything or want to know more. But I do try and tell my students, even though these are something that I'm not necessarily over, I do want to let people know about these opportunities because it might be a way for, maybe they don't qualify for internal scholarships, but maybe they want to work for SGA and earn a scholarship. So it's just a good way to I just want to familiarize the students with, everything that we have to offer. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about the Work Ready Kentucky Scholarship. So our Work Ready Kentucky Scholarship is a state scholarship. It is through KEES. It is for specific areas of study. So it is for healthcare, manufacturing, transportation and logistics, business and IT, and construction. If you want to see all of the eligible Work Ready programs, you can go to workreadykentucky.com, and at the very bottom, there's a Find Your Program, and you can find, if you just in the drop-down box put in Somerset Community College, you can see all the different programs that Work Ready has to offer. For Work Ready, this is something that you do have to fill out a FAFSA first. You have to fill out your FAFSA, and you have to complete any FAFSA related tasks that you might have on your student self-service to make sure that you are approved each semester. And the Work Ready application can be found on www.kia.com. So there are a few things that you have to have in order to qualify for the Work Ready Kentucky Scholarship. It is actually what is called a last dollar scholarship. So any other aid that the student has, if they have the Pell Grant or another scholarship or KEES, any of that or a third party or something on their account, that is going to be taken first out of tuition before Work Ready is applied and before Work Ready comes in and pays. So essentially, if a student has enough aid, let's say they have their bill's $2,000 and they have $1,000 of Pell and then $1,000 scholarship. Well, they're going to be covered. So Work Ready is not going to come in and pay anything on them, even if they are in a Work Ready approved program, because they already have enough aid to cover. Work Ready is essentially a way for people to get a scholarship if they do not have enough, or if they don't have enough aid or don't have any aid on their account. It is tuition only. Any kind of online books or materials that are included on the bill are not included with Work Ready. That is not something that Work Ready will cover. And then for Work Ready, you can get up to $400 worth of your fees covered each academic year. So I run into this a lot with students too with Work Ready. Maybe in fall, they had $400 worth of fees. And then in the spring, they have $400 more. In the spring, that $400 that they have, they will have to pay that out of pocket because they've already used their $400 worth in the fall semester. And then it can be used for up to 4 semesters or 60 credit hours. And this is kind of whichever one comes first. I have a lot of people ask if they can take classes part-time and receive Work Ready. As long as they meet all the other qualifications, they can, but their eligibility is going to run out after the 4 semesters. Even if they don't meet the 60 credit hours, if they've taken part-time classes for 4 semesters, they'll have no eligibility left once they hit that 5th semester. Another thing that can knock you out of the running for the Work Ready Scholarship is if you have an associate's degree. So really, if you have an associate's degree or higher, you're no longer eligible for the Work Ready Scholarship. I also just want to talk about external scholarship opportunities. And this is something I'm actually really trying to find out more about and know about more external opportunities for students. These external opportunities are offered through other donors or websites. And I always tell students to kind of be careful when you are looking on the internet for scholarships, because you always want to make sure that it's nothing that is actually a scam or something that, you know, says it's a scholarship, but then you have to pay money and then it's not a scholarship. Some of the websites that I've listed here are actual websites that, you know, our students have used or are able to use or go to look on. And they do offer scholarships through these websites. So I try to always share these with students. If anyone, especially on this call, if you all know of any other websites that are good for students to use, or you have used yourself or anything, please let me know, because I'm always looking for things, but I want to make sure that they are legit and they are an actual scholarship website before I refer students to them. Another thing that I'll say with the external scholarships, sometimes we get notification. I might get an email from someone, maybe a group. I'm trying to think of the last one that I got. We have it's a professional businesswoman club, and I think we have one in Somerset, but then we also have one in Russell, and they actually award scholarships through their group or through their club. And so when we have something like this and they present that to me, I usually give that information to Tracy Cassida, and she emails all of our students to let them know of the opportunity. So that's not something that I always know about beforehand, but you know, it might happen in the middle of semester and somebody might say, hey, we have this scholarship, we want to try to award it in a month, can you help us? And so I always want to tell students to make sure to check their emails, because if they ever get anything from Tracy Cassida and it's about a scholarship, you know, it is an actual opportunity. I'll just go over a little bit of kind of what KEES money is. KEES money is awarded through KEA. It's a state scholarship, and this is based off your high school GPA and ACT scores. So in order to keep your KEES money, you must maintain a 2.5 GPA or higher. And that is in order to keep receiving it. If your GPA drops below a 2.5, then you will not continue to receive your KEES money. It expires 5 years from your high school graduation, or 8 semesters, whichever one comes first. And then I just want to talk a little bit about federal work study as well. So federal work study is an opportunity where you can work up to 20 hours per week during the semester. You must be enrolled in at least 6 credit hours. You have to have a 2.0 GPA and a 67% completion rate. Your hours will flex around your class schedule, and the pay is $8.50 an hour. This is something that not everyone may qualify for, but if this is something that you are interested in, and I should have put Patrick's information on here, but you can always reach out to, his name is Patrick Mayer, and he is our federal work study coordinator, and he's the director of financial aid as well. But you can reach out to him and see if you qualify, if this is something you are interested in doing. So after students submit the FAFSA, the best thing to do is then to kind of follow up with the financial aid office, make sure there's nothing else that needs to be completed. If there's any other, verification or any additional documents that we need, we're always able to kind of look and help you and see what's needed further. You always want to make sure that all of your financial need, scholarships, anything that you may be getting, you always want to make sure that everything is okay before class starts. And if you have any questions about it, always reach out to somebody in the financial aid office just to make sure. So you also want to log in to, our students need to log into their student self-service accounts and see if they have any tasks to complete. So when you log into your student self-service and there is a little square that says tasks, that is going to show any of your FAFSA related tasks that need to be completed. So let's say you fill out the FAFSA and you submit it, and then you log on here and you see that you have a task due there. And the task says that, you've been chosen for verification and you have to upload maybe, your state ID or something of that sort. That's going to be able to be found under your tasks in your student self-service. I always encourage students to check their SCC email. This is a big thing that I want to try to let students know to do. Even if you haven't enrolled in classes, well, sorry, I was trying to think of the best way to put it. But I do always encourage students to try to check their email and just to make sure that there's nothing where somebody's trying to reach out to them or something needs to be done further. Because, that's a way that most departments are going to reach out to students is they're going to try through email first. So I always just try to encourage students to make sure to check that. You'll also want to review your awards on your student self-service account. Your awards is where it's going to show all of your financial aid information. So it's going to show if you've taken out any loans, it's going to show if you're getting the Pell Grant, and it's going to show if you're getting the CAP Grant or Work Ready. This is going to show all your awards. And then you always want to review your bill to make sure that you have enough calculated aid to cover the balance. So the next thing that we always want to tell people to do, or to tell students to do, is to go to their classes, stay in your classes and try to pass your classes. If there's something that is going on and that a student needs to make us aware of, we just always want to tell them to try to reach out and tell somebody as soon as possible. Let somebody know, talk to your instructor, or talk to a staff member here. A lot of us, I think, I've worked here for 6 years, and a lot of us are a lot more understanding and caring, and we care about, our students, and we want to help them and be here for them. So it's something that you just need to make sure to reach out if there is something going on and let someone know, and then we can try to work out and figure out kind of what's going to happen from there. With that being said, you'll want to maintain satisfactory academic progress, which is when you maintain a 2.0 GPA and a 67% completion rate. And you'll also want to complete your credential within the time frame limits. The best thing that any of our students can do, if they have questions or concerns about anything, grants, scholarships, or the FAFSA, is to reach out to our financial aid office. We have a financial aid office here in Somerset, and we also have one at our London campus. Even at our centers, the people at our centers are, very knowledgeable of some financial aid things, but they can always reach out to us in Somerset or London in order to help them or to help the students. We are all here to help, and we want to see you succeed. And I think that is all I have for today. Does anybody have any questions? I know I just went through a ton of information there.
Tosh, it's Melissa.
Okay.
I talked to some students at the high schools who say, well, I won't do a scholarship application. I won't get one. I don't have good grades. Are all scholarships academics?
No. So, not all scholarships are based on academics. So like I said, for like the Citizen Scholarship I was talking about, all they require for it is that you are a customer at Citizens National Bank. So that's something that, you know, they're not asking for your GPA to be a 4.0 or anything like that. And then we also have other scholarships where, you know, they might want a student who has just recently graduated, and there might not be a GPA equivalent there, but they want somebody who just graduated that last year. We actually have quite a few scholarships that are like that. So yes, I always try to, I want to encourage anyone that can or wants to apply for scholarships. We also have scholarships that maybe are for specific programs or are for, trying to think, specific programs or specific areas. And we have scholarships that we're not able to award because we don't have anybody that applied based on the requirements for the scholarship. We had one pretty recently that the donor is asking for a recent high school graduate that lives in Rockcastle County and was in the CMM program. And so I actually ended up talking to a kid on the phone and realized that he met all those qualifications and encouraged him to apply for the scholarship. And then he ended up being awarded it because we did not have anyone that applied that met all three of those qualifications. So it really, you know, you never know. You can't just rule it out based on saying, you know, oh, I don't have good grades, or I don't have this, or I'll never get one. It's worth a shot to try. And it only takes about 5 minutes to fill out. So it's not like it's, you know, you're wasting a lot of your time. You don't have to write essays, that sort of thing. So I think it's a good idea for anyone to just go ahead and fill one out.
Tasha, Natalie has a question.
Okay.
She says, will Work Ready pay for summer classes?
No. So Natalie, currently they meaning I think systems office, and I think this maybe has been going on for a little bit. Systems office is trying to get Work Ready to cover summer courses. If this happens, this will be great. I think that it would be a really good thing for our students. There are some programs like the EMS, or maybe it may just be paramedic. I'm not 100% sure, but the paramedic program actually starts and then goes through summer. And the paramedic program is, you can get Work Ready for that program. And so, but those students for the summer, they don't have any aid to cover because Work Ready won't cover. And even though their classes, they have to enroll in the summer because that's one of the program qualifications. So unfortunately, it doesn't right now. We are hopeful that that this might change. I'm really hoping that it does because I think it would help out our students a lot. If something happens and this does change, I will probably send out something or Tracy or Patrick, but we'll have somebody send out something to let everyone know, because that's something I definitely want kind of the whole school to know about if it does happen.
We have another question. Jonathan Spencer says, I'm an older student and I never took the ACT. Are there still plenty of options?
So Jonathan, did you take any other kind of, and you can just type in the chat box if you can, and just let me know, but did you take any other kind of testing? Did you take Compass or anything? And the reason why I'm asking that is because I am able to convert, EdReady is our new placement testing that we use. And I'm able to convert it and Compass into ACT scores. So when I pull all the applications, I do look at that. And if somebody has taken the Compass or the EdReady, then I will convert that into an ACT score for them. And then that's what the committee is looking at. And Jonathan, too, just to let you know, not all scholarships are going to look at ACT scores. We do have a few, but some scholarships are not concentrated on just what your ACT score is.
Jonathan answered, I don't believe so. Can you see it in your chat?
Yes, I can. So Jonathan, it would probably be a good idea for you to, if you are planning on coming here, it'd probably be a good idea for you to take EdReady and take the math and the English portion of it, because I can't always use that to convert your score or convert that into an ACT score. I mean, you're more than welcome to take the ACT test, but the ACT does cost. So that's something that, unless you needed it for a specific program, I wouldn't say that you would have to do that. EdReady is free, so that's kind of the difference there. Does that answer your question, Jonathan?
While he's typing, there's another student. Does a student have to maintain a GPA of a 2.5?
Yes. So for our internal scholarship application, we do ask that GPAs are at least a 2.5 or above. Every semester, I go through and I look at our scholarship students and just make sure they are meeting that. If it does drop below the 2.5, they do have to be taken off the scholarship. And then in order for students to apply and to be eligible for the, when they're doing the scholarship application, we want them to have a 2.5 GPA. So I've had students reach out to me and ask, and just say, that their GPA is maybe like a 2.0. And I do have to let them know that they're not going to qualify right now, but if they're able to come and then maybe build up their GPA a little bit more and then just to apply after that. And then I think Sherry had a question up here as well. That was a little bit higher.
It says,
do some scholarships have different requirements? Or do? Yes, Sherry. So we do have some scholarships that, like, for example, the Student Ambassador Scholarship, the students in that program are required to maintain a 3.0 GPA. So if their GPA drops below the 3.0, and that is probably more something that, Melissa Winstead would assist with more than me, but they are, they are required to maintain that at least a 3.0. And then we have some other scholarships too that that do require. Most of them are 3.0. I do think we have one scholarship. It's currently not awarded, but we do have one scholarship that asks that students maintain a 3.5. We might have one other that's like that as well. Might be the presidential scholarship. Either way, we do have some different requirements. And then what I do is, like each semester, I just go through and look, and depending on what scholarships that students are on, I just go through and make sure that they are maintaining those requirements. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Does anyone else have any other questions?
If anyone else don't have any questions, we would like to thank you for doing the session for us today, Tasha. College Navigators appreciate it. And I would like to encourage the people who attended to attend our next College Navigator meeting next Thursday from 2 to 3 if they're available.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a good day.